Imagine waking up in the middle of the night. It is dark, the house is silent, but you cannot sleep. Your throat feels like it is on fire. Every time you try to swallow, it feels like you are swallowing broken glass. You try to cough to clear it, but the cough is dry, hacking, and it only makes the pain worse. We have all been there. It's one of the most uncomfortable feelings in the world. You open your medicine cabinet, looking for relief, maybe a syrup or a pill, but you hesitate. You want something real, something effective, something that does not just numb the pain for an hour, but actually helps your body fight back.
What if I told you that the answer might not be in a plastic bottle from the pharmacy, but growing in a pot on your windowsill or sitting in your spice rack right now? Today, we are going to talk about a plant so powerful that its name literally means to save. We are talking about sage, specifically Salvia officinalis. You might know it as the herb that goes on Thanksgiving turkey, but for thousands of years, healers knew it as a lifesaver. Today, we're going to dive deep into exactly how you can use sage as a gargle and an inhalation to stop coughs and crush throat inflammation. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do the next time that fire starts in your throat.
Before we get into the how, we need to understand the why. Why sage? Why has this specific plant survived centuries of medical evolution to remain at top recommendation by herbalists and even modern doctors today? It is not magic, it is chemistry. But it is chemistry that nature perfected long before we had laboratories. When you look at a sage leaf, you see a dusty green, velvety surface. It looks soft, but if you rub it between your fingers, you release an explosion of scent. That smell? That is the medicine. Those are volatile oils. According to research published in the Journal of Traditional and Complementary Medicine, sage contains a complex cocktail of compounds like cineol, borneol, and thujone. But the real stars of the show when it comes to your sore throat are rosmarinic acid and camphor. Think of your inflamed throat like a red, angry, swollen landscape. The tissues are expanded, red, and sensitive. This is inflammation. It is your body's reaction to an invader, like a virus or bacteria. But sometimes the reaction hurts more than the invader itself. According to studies cited by the European Medicines Agency, rosmarinic acid acts as a powerful anti-inflammatory agent. When you apply sage to that angry tissue, it is like putting a cooling, calming blanket over a fire. It tells the tissues to calm down, reducing the swelling and the pain.
But sage does not just sit there and soothe, it fights. Sage is antiseptic, it is antibacterial and antiviral. According to a study in the Brazilian Journal of Microbiology, sage extract has shown significant efficacy against specific strains of bacteria that often cause respiratory infections. So when you gargle with sage, you are not just masking the pain, you are actively changing the environment of your throat to make it hostile for the germs that are making you sick. You are washing the battlefield. Now, let's talk about the first major method, the sage gargle. This is your first line of defense. It is direct contact. When you gargle, you are physically coating the inflamed membranes with these healing oils. But you have to do it right. Most people do it wrong. They just dip a tea bag in warm water for a minute and swish it around. That is weak tea. That is not medicine. To make a potent medicinal gargle, you need heat and time. You want to extract every bit of those oils. You start with fresh sage if you have it. Fresh is always best because the oils are most potent. Take a handful of leaves, about 2 tablespoons, roughly chopped. If you only have dried sage, that works too. Just use 1 tablespoon, as dried herbs are more concentrated. Put this into a mug or a jar. Now, pour boiling water over it, not just hot tap water, boiling. You want to break down the cell walls of the plant to release the medicine. Cover it immediately. This is the step everyone forgets.
If you do not cover it, those volatile oils, the medicine that you smell, evaporate into the air. You want them in the water. Put a saucer over the cup and let it steep.
How long? Patience is key here. You need to let it sit for at least 10 to 15 minutes. You want the water to turn a deep, dark gold or even greenish brown. It should smell strong. Once it has cooled down to a warm, comfortable temperature, do not burn yourself. That will only hurt your throat more. Strain out the leaves. Now, here is a pro tip that takes this from a home remedy to a powerhouse treatment. Add salt. Just half a teaspoon of sea salt. Why salt? Salt water creates an osmotic effect. It draws excess fluid out of the swollen tissues in your throat. Remember, swelling is fluid retention. By drawing that fluid out, you physically reduce the swelling and the pain. Plus, salt is also antiseptic. So now you have the anti-inflammatory power of sage combined with the fluid-reducing power of salt. But we are not done. You can add one more thing: honey. But not just for taste. According to a study in the journal Archives of Medical Research, honey has its own wound healing and antibacterial properties. It coats the throat, providing a physical barrier that reduces irritation. So you have sage, the fighter, salt, the reducer, and honey, the soother. This is the trifecta. When you gargle, do not just make a noise for 3 seconds and spit. Tilt your head back. Let the liquid sit as far back in your throat as possible without swallowing. Say the letter ah. The vibration helps the liquid move around and reach the nooks and crannies of your tonsils and the back of your pharynx. Do this for a good 30 seconds, then spit it out. Repeat until the cup is finished. Do this 3 times a day. You will feel the difference. Now let's shift gears to the second method, sage inhalation. This is for when the problem isn't just in your throat, but also in your airways, or when you have that dry, ticklish cough that comes from deep irritation. Sometimes a gargle cannot reach deep enough. Vapors can. Inhalation is about delivering the medicine directly to your lungs and bronchial tubes. It is about moisture and oil. When you have a cough, your mucous membranes are often dry and irritated. Steam rehydrates them, but sage steam delivers antimicrobial compounds right into the respiratory tract. To set this up, you need a large bowl. Place a handful of dried sage or fresh leaves in the bottom. Again, boil your water. Pour the steaming water over the herbs. You will see the steam rising immediately, carrying that earthy, camphorous scent. You need to trap that steam. Lean over the bowl, but be careful not to get too close. Steam burns are real, so keep your face about 12 inches away at first. Take a large towel and drape it over your head and the bowl, creating a tent. This creates a closed environment. You are now in a sage sauna. Close your eyes. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Feel the warmth entering your nostrils, traveling down your throat and filling your lungs. Hold it for a second. Breathe out. The camphor and the sage act similarly to eucalyptus. It helps to open up the airways. The moisture soothes the dry, hacking irritation that triggers the cough reflex. According to traditional herbal medicine practices documented in pharmacopoeias, steam inhalation with aromatic herbs helps to loosen mucus, making it easier to expel. It turns a dry, unproductive cough into a productive one, helping you clear your chest. Stay under the towel for about 10 minutes. If it gets too hot, lift a corner of the towel to let some cool air in. This is not an endurance test. It should be relaxing. Many people find that doing this before bed helps them sleep because it calms the cough reflex that tends to get worse when you lie down. Let's take a moment to appreciate the history here. We are not the first people to discover this. The Romans considered sage a holy herb. They used it for everything from snake bites to epilepsy. In the Middle Ages, there was a famous saying, "Cur moriatur homo qui salvia crestit in horto," which translates to, "Why should a man die who has sage growing in his garden?" They valued it that much. During the Great Plagues,
thieves who robbed the bodies of the dead allegedly used a vinegar infused with sage and other herbs to protect themselves from infection. While we now have antibiotics and vaccines, the fact that sage was the go-to shield against illness for centuries speaks volumes about its potency.
However, we must be responsible. Natural does not always mean 100% safe for everyone all the time. Sage contains a compound called thujone. Thujone, in extremely large amounts, can be toxic to the nervous system. According to the European Medicines Agency, while the amounts of thujone released in water for gargling or inhalation are generally considered safe for short-term use, there are precautions. If you are pregnant, you should be very careful with sage. In herbal traditions, sage is known to dry up breast milk, so nursing mothers often use it to stop lactation. But if you are currently breastfeeding and want to continue, you should avoid drinking large amounts of strong sage tea. For gargling, since you spit it out, the risk is lower, but always consult with your doctor. Also, because of the thujone, people with epilepsy should avoid using sage essential oils or taking large concentrated doses internally.
But for the average person dealing with a cold, the flu, or just a strained voice from talking too much, sage is a miracle worker. It is accessible. It is cheap. You can buy a bag of dried sage for a few dollars that will last you all winter. Compare that to the price of cough syrups and lozenges.
Let's think about the modern world we live in. We are often quick to look for a synthetic chemical to fix us. We want a pill that works in 10 minutes. And modern medicine is a miracle, do not get me wrong. If you have a bacterial infection like strep throat, you need to see a doctor. You might need antibiotics. Sage is not a replacement for life-saving medicine. But for the 90% of sore throats that are viral or caused by dry air or minor irritations, why bomb your system with chemicals when a leaf can do the job? There is something profound about taking care of yourself with a plant. It connects you to a rhythm that is slower and more intentional. Making the tea, waiting for it to steep, setting up the steam tent, this process forces you to slow down, and slowing down is a huge part of healing. Stress weakens the immune system. The act of preparing a sage remedy is, in itself, an act of self-care that reduces stress. Let's review the protocol so you don't forget it. For the sore throat, the strong sage gargle. Boiling water, sage leaves, cover and steep for 15 minutes, strain, add salt and honey. Gargle deep and loud, spit. Repeat 3 times a day. For the cough, the sage steam tent. Boiling water in a bowl, sage leaves, towel overhead, breathe deep for 10 minutes, relax. You might be wondering, can I just drink the tea? Yes, you can. Sage tea is excellent for digestion and can help with excessive sweating, another traditional use. But for the throat specifically, the gargle is often more effective because you keep the liquid in contact with the inflamed tissue longer than you do when you just swallow a sip. However, sipping the tea slowly is a great way to support the gargle. Just remember, sage tea can be a bit bitter because of the tannins. That's why the honey is a great addition if you plan to drink it. Also, quality matters. If you have a garden, plant sage. It is a hardy perennial. It survives winter in many climates. It asks for very little water. It is almost impossible to kill. Having fresh sage leaves that you grew yourself adds a layer of satisfaction to the healing process. If you buy dried sage, try to buy from a reputable herb shop rather than the dusty jar that has been sitting at the back of the supermarket shelf for 3 years. You want the oils. If it doesn't smell strong, it won't work strong. There is another interesting application for sage that relates to oral health in general. Because it is antibacterial and astringent, meaning it tightens tissues, it is fantastic for bleeding gums or mouth ulcers. If you have a canker sore, swishing with sage tea can help it heal faster and reduce the pain. It is a multi-purpose tool for the mouth and throat. We often look for complex solutions to simple problems. We think that because technology has advanced, the old ways are obsolete. But biology hasn't changed that much. Our throats are the same as the throats of our ancestors. The viruses and bacteria have evolved, sure, but the fundamental mechanism of inflammation and the fundamental chemical properties of plants remain constant. Sage worked for the Romans, it worked for your great-grandmother, and it will work for you. So the next time you feel that scratchiness, that little tickle that says you are getting sick, do not panic. Do not rush out to buy expensive syrups just yet. Go to your kitchen, grab the sage, boil the water. Take control of your health with confidence. You have the knowledge now. You know the science, the rosmarinic acid, the camphor, the anti-inflammatory and antiseptic effects. You know the method. You are prepared. Healing does not always have to be a sterile clinical experience. It can be warm. It can smell like the earth. It can be a moment of quiet in a busy day. That is what sage offers you. Not just relief from pain, but a moment of connection with nature and with your own body's ability to heal.
Try it. Experiencing it is believing it. And when you feel that relief, when you can swallow without wincing, you will understand why this humble gray-green leaf has been revered for thousands of years. I want to hear from you. Have you ever used sage for something other than cooking? Have you tried other natural remedies for a sore throat that worked wonders? Let me know in the comments below. I read them, and I love learning from your experiences. If you found this information helpful, if you learned something new today, please hit that subscribe button. We are building a community here of people who want to understand their health and use the best tools available, both modern and natural. Don't miss the next video, where we are going to explore another powerful herb that is probably sitting in your kitchen right now, completely ignored. You won't want to miss that. Stay healthy, stay curious, and take care of yourselves.